Alright, now that I've taken the capping station out, and I've cleaned up the area, gotten all the little screws if I've dropped any or anything like that out of there, I'm going to replace the capping station now. Alright, so I was able to take the one that it was already existing and able to clean it up, scrape off any kind of dried ink or anything like that, so that way I can still use it. I was still able to actually blow through the bottom tubing and see that it did have suction in it. Alright, so now I'm going to actually replace this capping station and put it back in. So to do this, we basically have to take it back out the way, or put it back in the way we took it out. So I'll caddy corner this thing down in here. Kind of rotating as I'm going, kind of in and down. Make sure to get this tubing out of the way. Alright. And then before I actually attach any of the screws to put this back in, I'll kind of leave it back to in the back position here, so that way I can actually get to it and put this front panel back in. Alright, so to do this front panel, we're going to slide this thing down in here, make sure that all the screw holes line up and everything like that, make sure nothing gets tucked behind where it's not supposed to. I'll kind of have to go to the side a little bit and kind of shove it up underneath this little post that's over here on the side. Alright. Okay. There are two prongs that I have to get it over top of first. Okay, on the far side over here. Okay, and then one over here on this side as well. Kind of a booger. Kind of go at it from the side and then push it over. That should line up nice and smoothly. Alright, so then I can replace the screws in there. So there's one over here on the front. Okay. There's the one back here in the back. And I got the two that were going in from this direction. Remember, I have to go through it from the front of the machine to get to these. Right. And then there's one more over here on the front side. Once I have those four screws back in, then I'll reattach the capping station. One of the biggest things you have to worry about is this little bar that's coming across right here. It needs to line up with the gearing and also fit in that little hole that's right up above there. Once I get everything lined up, that's proper positioning, make sure to click that into place. Alright, and it should lock in pretty tight right there. That way it's not movable. And then I can replace the screws in there. The two up front here. Try not to drop the screws. Down. When I've got the two that are directly down the sides of the capping station, here and here. We can make sure to get this little clear piece of plastic, kind of tuck it back up, this little splash guard there. And that gets that out of the way for you. The first one, I'll go straight down here. A magnetic screwdriver is almost a must for this. Okay. And then last but not least, the one that's directly below here. Oops. And if I drop it, I can just reach up underneath and grab it. Straight down. You should be able to see those holes from the top pretty clearly. Alright. And I should be able to push the capping station up and down freely. I can still do the little gear over here to the side to see if my wiper blade still comes out. Alright, you got to be really careful that when you're rotating that wheel over here to the side that you don't drop the little gear. If you drop the little gear, you got to get some pliers in there and get the thing out. Alright, so once I have that gear out, I can put it back here on the end of this one. Gotta be real careful with it. So that way it snaps back into place. Pull that clutch to the side so that way it releases the wiper blade, and remember it spins in the wiper blade will travel in the opposite direction that the gear is spin. And I can push it back, and then there we go. Okay, last but not least, we will actually replace the flashing pot. Alright, remember that we put that screw back in here on the top, so we'll take that one back out. And then we can feed the tube down into this little circular hole that's right in front of the big white gear. I'll just slide that down in there, make sure everything lines up. There's a little flat edge that kind of sticks out right here, and that will fit in this little tray right there. Everything lines back up. Make sure that little foam isn't tucked into the way. Alright. And we'll replace that last screw. And that's the replacement of the capping station. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to call our support line. And we look forward to talking to you on the lines. Have a great day.